Where's the recording?
There you go.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have a beard, folks, but I'm taking over for Mike tonight because he's in Mexico.
Mexico.
Welcome to episode 65 of the Idiot Circle, and I'm Fred.
The czar.
I'm Tim.
I'm not Mike, I'm Brock.
And that's
You're
right.
handsome.
And we just want to welcome and applaud the fact that we have two people that are very influential in St. Clair County and our hometown of Marine City. We have Mayor Jennifer Vanden Bosch and the one and only Dave Vanden Bosch of
Golf
Vanden
club.
Bosch Farms and obviously is involved in politics as well. I don't remember which section, sorry, Dave. But the good thing is we welcome you guys to the show, and thanks for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate being on here. And thanks
Well-
for being patient with me. I know a couple of times we had to reschedule and I appreciate that.
Well, first of all of us from the Idiot Circle give you your condolences to your mother.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I know that she is a good woman. Okay.
Thank
And obviously she raised a good daughter. So Dave, you definitely outkicked the coverage with that one.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah,
Dave,
we
I got a question for you, Dave. When the mayor tells you to do something, you have to obey, don't you?
Just like I always have.
Good answer. Good answer. Way to stay in the good graces of the church, Dave.
Perfect.
So
Thanks, Elaine.
let's start off the show. Let's talk a little bit about obviously Dave not only being involved with with the fire department in Marine City as well as Jennifer is. And he's in what position do you hold in the county there, Dave?
I'm County Commissioner, District 7.
Okay, Commissioner of District 7. He's also a big deal with this, the Vanden Bosch Farms. And if any of you from Marine City or anybody from the surrounding areas have ever been there, holy crap. The things that they have there and the pricing is phenomenal. So Dave, why don't you tell us a little bit about the farm, how the farm, I know that your father and your probably his father after that, before that was heavily involved in this, but tell us a little bit about it and what's been going on there.
Well, my two bachelor uncles and my grandfather started the farm. And then my brother and I purchased it, just after 2000. And we got back into vegetables. Before that, they hauled to the Eastern market. And we did approximately 280 acres of vegetables all for the Eastern market then. Now we do everything. We sell everything at the farm or we deliver to restaurants. So, and Neiman's grocery or Neiman's markets too. So we might have a local provider. So we're their local
Hey,
provider.
Fred, I think we have two things open for them. The one that says Jennifer with no screen. And then the one I'm assuming off your phone, Dave.
Yeah.
Is the one is if you close down that one with just Jennifer, that might help the audio if we have audio through your phone or mute it. That might help it. Dave, let me ask you this. That was great about the farm, but I got one question for you. What you drinking, buddy? Oh, we don't hear you.
Don't hear you, so you're gonna have to
So
put Jennifer.
it's yeah.
Yeah. So we
Okay,
here's what we
I got
do.
an idea.
Put your earphone on mute and move Jennifer's laptop, and then set your camera right centered with your laptop, but have your laptop volume on, but have a mute on your phone.
And turn yourself around, and that's what it's all
Yep.
about. Why they do that for the rest of the IC? Let's have a toast.
Let's have a
Yeah.
toast. Here's to Mike Ward Here's to Battle of the Bands. Go
Mike
Paul and
Miller,
Oates.
My
Go
fallen
Paul and
brother,
Oates.
Here's to the high life.
the high life.
That's
yeah.
right.
What are you drinking? Wait, Brock, what do you got? What are
So
you drinking?
Jennifer, put your camera, your laptop, take the
Back.
mute off, and then
Jackson,
just
yeah.
have him put his mute on his phone, and then center his camera right on your laptop.
We do have that, but we're trying to mute my
Oh, there
phone.
you go.
Is that better?
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
It's a
that's
little
way better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were saying that your uncles were heavy doing stuff with Eastern Market and
Yeah.
Neiman's.
Yeah, we used to haul 280 acres of vegetables to Eastern Market. Then we all retired from vegetables just to get grain, and we had a big auction and sold all the vegetable stuff. And then 4 or 5 years later, we got bored, so we went back into vegetables. So now we're trying to rebuy everything and get everything going again. And we've done most of that, but we do everything retail at the farm. So, and we sell to Neiman's and a few of the local restaurants, Tetco Allen, Fish Company buys from us. We got a few other restaurants too, so.
You know what, Fred? What I think it'll work. I hate to do this. Dave, I want you off the screen, not your lovely wife, because she is beautiful, but we might have to take you off the screen just to go through Jennifer's audio to get audio, because it's really tough to hear. And I
Or
know
just
we wanna hear
more
what you're
towards
saying.
point the camera towards her audio and then get over there, right?
So my question is you, Dave, is your cell phone on mute?
Or what if we both just do our own cell phones? Would that work?
Yeah, there you go. Like, you sound great right there, Jennifer.
Yes.
So bypass, use the phone for the audio, mute it, and then use the audio on the Jennifer that signed in. That will probably work.
Yeah. Use the video on the cell phone and use the audio on the laptop.
And then Dave, we'll probably have you say some of the stuff again, because it was hard to hear you, and I know people want to hear about it. I mean, Van Bosch Farms and what you guys have been able to do. And then we're going to get to you in a minute, Jennifer. Then I hope we're going to put you in the hot seat.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
I hope you're ready.
Uh-oh. I don't think I'll ever be ready for that.
No, believe me, the waters will be warm and gentle. They
Right.
Yes.
You gotta watch out.
Yeah.
The Czar's nickname is the Czar, and it's also Quagmire.
or no, off the rails Rob or something. Some would say.
Yeah.
There's another one, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Dave, how about saying that again? Let's try it one more time.
you're muted.
Yeah, there. Yep, good. You unmuted the right one. Yeah. Yep.
Clear?
Perfect.
Yes.
Positive?
so echoing.
Yeah. Move the laptop closer to you guys.
Is that better?
Jennifer, talk.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Oh,
perfect.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
what
the
the hell?
thing. It's just him.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot Dave's one of the adults on Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah.
Don't listen to him, Dave.
Alex,
Don't listen to him.
Yes, you did. So what
Like every other situation in your life, you're not allowed to talk.
That's right.
The mayor says no.
shut down the laptop and we'll just each run off our own phones.
Oh, yeah, that might work.
Yeah, try that.
I tried that.
That'll roll.
Hey, Jennifer, why he does that, I just want to say, I mean, the waters will be warm and gentle. I haven't lived in Marine City since like 1984. And when I found out we were getting the mayor of Marine City, I was super excited. If you would have told me the mayor of Tampa, which is Jane Castor, was coming on, I wouldn't be any more excited than to have them the mayor of Marine City. Because we
thank
are
you.
all about Marine City. We love Marine City. And it's really a thrill to have you on the show.
There she is.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yep.
You gotta shut the other Jennifer off.
Yeah, mute that.
Well, and they might have to be in different rooms.
Yeah, get away from each other.
It's not court mandated, just the idiot circle mandated. That's the.
Can hear her
And then-
echoing.
Yeah, and then no, don't mute your phone, Jennifer. Mute the laptop.
Okay.
They could probably close out the laptop if they're both on the
Okay.
phones, right?
This reminds me of, remember forgetting Cheryl Marcy goes, I can't hear you, get closer. No, look down, look up.
Forget Sarah Birch. Hey,
Oh, I
did you
see what
have
you're
that-
doing. I
Did
see
you have
what
that
you're
pearl
doing.
necklace on or before?
Oh, that's
Oh,
terrible.
that's gross.
That is funny. Look
You
down,
know-
look up, look down.
Okay, now
look up.
unmute yourself, Jennifer.
There we go. How's that better?
Oh, perfect,
Wonderful.
Jennifer, perfect.
Boy, look at Dave. He's horny. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. That's a wall mount.
Honestly, that honor day for right now.
Where did him go?
Wow. Has Marine City ever have a hotter mayor? I mean, a hot blonde for a mayor. I mean, when does that ever happen?
I don't think so.
Holy Moses. I know Biff Laboon didn't look this good.
No.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
We are excited to have you.
You're
I mean,
warming me up, aren't you, for the
what
tough
is-
one?
what's the population of Marine City as it stands right now? Just, roughly 2,500 maybe, or
But- Yeah,
One,
almost
two,
3,000, I would say, the
almost
last.
3,000. But you
Mhm.
understand you're a mayor of like tens and tens of thousand people, right? Because all the people that have moved away like myself, we still feel you're our mayor, Jennifer.
Well, not only that is I always talk to people about community. So there is, if you want to call the Marine City proper, the jurisdiction, the boundaries, but so much of Marine City is made up of people of China, Cotterville, East China,
Yep,
all of
yep.
our surrounding communities. I heard a lot of people say, well, I live in East China. I know it doesn't matter, but this. And I say, no, it does matter. It does matter
Right.
because a lot of our business owners, a lot of people that come in and use our businesses, people that are moving into the city and in the area, families, it does matter.
I agree.
Yes, and I think of us as a community.
So Jennifer, I know that, it's a lot of responsibility and I know that a lot of it's a thankless job, but the one thing that I will tell you, just from, my perspective and the people, I want to thank you for actually bringing some youth to the city
Who
and
you?
coming up. And the two youths, the two what?
The what?
Don't give me, hey, we're ADD, Rob, don't start talking movies. I'll lose my train of thought, squirrel. But, bringing some youth and some young ideas because, and I'm not going to be ashamed to say this, growing up in Marine City, we always had the good old boys and quite frankly, people were way too old to be in their positions and they feared change. And you've had an opportunity not only to open up, to be able to, open up the city and bring more people to it, and bring businesses, in with open arms, and to be able to have, a young, youthful mayor who can
Hot.
relate, can relate to
Quagmire.
these business owners and actually, talk to them about ideas and things that they have, and maybe some of those can be implemented.
Yeah, and I think we have a good variety on our board now, and I do like that idea, like talk about the variety of ideas, being able to talk to everybody and on different levels too, and different topics. Some people, ironically enough, even though it's named Marine City, some people don't maybe don't care as much about the marina or things like that, or other types of businesses and other areas of town. And that's good to be able to reach out and talk to everybody, and bring new ideas and new support. There's some things that maybe aren't the top of my interest list, but if it interests the people in town, the business owners, it's definitely stuff we got to look at.
So you're thinking
Yeah.
about all the businesses ancillary to like the downtown area too. They need to have their voice and they need their representation too, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's probably hard to do because everybody wants to give the downtown businesses all the voice, right? Because they're generating all this business coming in from outside of the community.
You know, they really do, because they want to think about exactly that downtown, that tourist. And we have a great, wonderful downtown that does bring in that tourism, that actually does bring in a good quality to our living here in Marine City, having all these different options. But when we look at a lot of the businesses that like stabilize the community, the different stores, the gas stations, all those supporting businesses, those supporting roles, in addition to the downtown area, really, we got to show them a lot of support too.
Right. Brock, you had your hand up?
That was the applause. That was
Oh, the applause.
I do have a
Yeah,
question. I do have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Brock.
As far as like, I forget what was the Detroit, some of the Detroit paper actually had, magazine had Marine City listed as the hidden gem in the Detroit area to visit.
Yeah.
And I know St. Clair was in there too. I mean, does St. Clair and Marine City, as far as mayors wise, do they actually, can they coordinate anything that, because if you're coming down from Detroit to come up here, and St. Clair and Marine City being so close together, I mean, the better they do, the better we do, and it's only 8 miles away, right? So does that ever get brought up as far as making it more attractive, just not one town, but 2 towns you could visit in a very short time?
Yeah, kind of making that whole like blue water theme together. I know a
Right.
few years ago they were talking about, there were some businesses and people talking about maybe some kind of supportive transportation between the two communities, and that I know some people from St. Clair Chamber of Commerce, so Marine City Chamber of Commerce talk, kind of advertise back and forth with each other. Actually, St. Clair Chamber is a big supporter of Battle of the Bands as
Right.
well. And yeah, so I think there's some ways that we do work together, but in the same way that we do promote our own as well.
Dana,
But you're
the
very
St.
right.
Clair mayor doesn't look this hot, does it? Does
No,
it?
no, is it still Bill Cedar?
It is, yep, Bill Cedar.
Yep,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no.
Doesn't
Bill's
he
not
have a
on.
hairy back?
St. Clair has
Yeah.
nothing on us right there, I can tell you
If we
that.
shaved Bill's
Check.
back, no one would
We win.
recognize him.
We,
No, Bill's a good dude.
oh, yeah.
My dad coached most of the Cedar family in football, so I know them very well. And he truly does care about St. Clair as much as like you care about Marine City. But then the other thing is too, is we can't forget about Elginak either. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure
Everybody
that,
else does.
well, the thing is as far as
Kidding,
hidden,
kidding.
I know, hey, we're trying to get into the
Trying
market.
to storm the
so-
Algonac market.
Right. And the thing is when you do the Battle of the Bands, you have everybody's represented, between the 3 towns. And I will tell you that Elginak has a beautiful boardwalk. Marine City's got beautiful views. St. Clair's got a beautiful boardwalk. I think the one thing that I would really like to see Marine City do is something very similar that St. Clair does, and has those, have the bands come and play, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, kind of like they do up there. And I know that there's some there. You probably have thought about doing that, or trying to think of something about doing that. Don't want to steal ideas, or you kind of make it redundant. But the one thing I love about Marine City is the fact that they actually have a downtown.
Right.
St. Clair, Elginak, and Marysville, they kind of do, but Marine City actually does. And I think Marine City could be, like the next Lexington, where it's swamped from Wednesday to Sunday every week. And
I think they're
But
there.
that's pretty swamped, I mean, on
They're
the
there now.
weekends.
They're there.
Right.
now.
Weekends.
Yeah, I think
Unbelievable.
they're there. I mean, the next one thing you want to be is something like a Put in Bay, right? A nice fun.
Oof. Well, no. Hey,
Why
welcome
can
to
we be the
disease- hey,
Saug,
welcome to
why can we
Disease
be the
Week.
Saugatuck of the thumb?
Those are a lot of interesting ideas.
Yeah.
Well, you never get a short of ideas here at the Idiot Circle. They're not good.
Well, they're
Jeff.
short for sure,
Yeah.
and we're on that bus sometimes. But
Rob, where's the
But,
helmet?
Yep. So let me ask you this, Jennifer, is what made you decide to run for mayor?
Well, I think the biggest problem, so obviously Dave had been mayor for several years,
Yep.
through 2 terms. And then he went on to run for county commissioner.
Mhm.
And the time that after he left, I started to see, some division in the city and some things happening. I think that it was getting bridged very well with Dave there and everything that was happening. And it was actually kind of heartbreaking to see a lot of the division that was going on. I knew a lot of people on all the different sides of the issues, the divisions that were going on, and I wanted to do what I could do to help bridge that back together. Show
Well,
the
that's
same
awesome.
the same respect to everybody, the citizens, the businesses. It didn't matter what category of classification you were. I wanted to bring that respect back to everybody because everybody deserves that respect. And then yet keep an open mind on to what we can do, if we can do better, how we can increase everything. And that's where I thought I could give and do.
Fantastic. Guys, do you have any questions for Jennifer at all?
I do.
Tim?
I got one.
Go, Tim.
Okay.
What do you think the effect of I don't know how many years it's been closed now, but that ferry being closed? What's your opinion on that and how it went about?
So that actually happened back when Dave was mayor.
Okay.
Oh, Dave's fault. Dave's fault.
Dave's fault.
It's his fault.
Yep.
It
It was George Bush's fault and Dave's
So
fault.
you gotta clean up the
And
mess,
Governor
Jennifer.
Schneider-
How you
Governor
gonna do?
Schneider's
How you gonna
fault.
clean up his mess?
Hold on, I just thought of something. She's kind of like Bill Clinton's Hillary. Had she ever been elected?
Wait a minute. She is a lot hotter than Hillary.
Well, I'm just saying.
Let me
it's
say
position
that
like
right
that.
out for
Hillary, that's a man, baby.
the.
I
So
got disconnected.
I watched Dave. Dave worked very hard. He actually worked with Paul Mitchell at the time. Through
I love
the
his hair
federal.
care products.
Oh yeah, that's very.
Edie,
And actually, they were actually working through NAFTA with trying to get the
Yeah,
ferry
yeah,
and
yeah.
the on the Canadian side fixed there.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out, but I think through the years we've seen how immediate effect, and sure it's still effect because I just couldn't imagine if we still had the ferry right now, just how much busier
wow.
we'd be in the downtown and everything coming through. I don't know if you guys remember before the ferry went down. I mean, you'd see the trucks lined up
oh,
down
yeah.
Water Street, or they would down Parker or King Road, and we were staging, and which was good with a lot of the big trucks, but we would have so much more
Yeah.
traffic coming into our downtown. But I think we've done well in accommodating, making up for that lack of traffic,
Yeah.
getting that advertisement in coming through Port Huron through the Blue Water Bridge to come to us, or whether you come down, through Walpole, Algonac, and then
Yeah.
immediately, I know at that time that the chamber and several people started doing that draw from Macomb County too. I think I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
remember exactly. I think the slogan was 3 million people 1 hour away.
Mm.
And so they really started pushing that as well. So I think we've made up for a lot of that loss of not having the ferry. But again, having that international ferry, that was an amazing thing.
Sure
have-
was.
Talk about
It
that.
definitely was. And I will tell you the one thing that was very gut wrenching was the video of it pulling away for the last time and going
Sad.
down the
Sad.
river. It was hard to see. But the thing is bringing people like yourself and some of these other people that are on your board, and we would love for you to mention who's on the city council with you. But like I said, it was very hard, but you guys have done a wonderful job continuing to bring people, like you said, from New Baltimore and as far away as Utica and even in Grosse Pointe, coming up and enjoying some of the restaurants and some of the other sites that we have.
Hey,
I'm
Jennifer,
sorry,
go
Rob, I
back-
didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no problem. Go back to this, understand that you had no control over the ferry, right? That's a federal thing and then international law, right? But what
Well-
did it mean for a city like Marine City to now be on for years be on that federal radar because they were a point of entry from another country to not be in that now. What impact did that have, and what impact does that have now? Not being on that radar.
I don't know that I could answer that correctly because I didn't have the experience at the level back when it was still running. That to have, but I know the reason why, I mean, a lot of that, to get that causeway fixed from before, a lot of that depended on the Canadian side because of the old ownership and that.
Yeah.
But I think that if we were looking at grant wise for
Yeah,
things for
that's
the
what I'm talking
community,
about. Did you get grant
um,
money from the federal
if
government?
we could use that. I know we can use part of, being a border community, on the that means some things and some, but if we'd actually had that crossing, I think that could have made a lot of difference in getting funding on different things. Absolutely.
So you mentioned earlier about, things that you're trying to improve in the city. And you did mention the marina. And I will tell you that back in the day, my grandfather was a very big proponent about having a marina in Marine City, and actually proposed to have it where the big monstrosity of condos or apartments are right across from
Carlton
Gars.
Arms?
Yeah, Carlton Arms, where he wanted it to be kind of like how Port Sandlac was, and of course, with the way the waterway was, they couldn't do that. Now that you have the ability to, where Bell River, the water's, good enough where, boats can go underneath the bridges and things like that. That marina that Dunn's and, right where Dunn's were and all that stuff, the chances of renovating any of those places and creating kind of like a maybe not at the size of what St. Clair has, or maybe even maybe half the size, and see how it takes off and works, to bring boaters in to come into Marine City. Have you looked into that at all?
So previously they had looked on some of that seawall property on the south side of the bridge.
Mhm.
But the cost after they entered into discussions, this kind of came too much. So then that's when we got the property we are now. But like Rose Marine is what you're referring to at Bothell Dunn's, and now they've got the fuel back now that we haven't had in a long time. You got Charter One that the Pete Patsalis right at the end. So he's offering some commercial stuff with fishing and supplies and that. And I hope to see a continuous growth along that edge of Bell River. I know we've got a couple spots along the seawall for the bigger boats that are still public access that can't make it under the bridge.
Mhm.
And then we have all of those, and we're going to be building up that marina as we can. I know the eventual goal there was to have some kind of a park, some amenities, services, so when people park the boats, that they
Yeah.
can do things. And I hope it continues to grow. I think that the fact that we haven't been able to grow there, is been kind of frustrating for a lot of people. We are a Marine City, and not to have dockage like in that area has been disappointing, but we're getting that built up, working on that. And additionally, and if I could point off, and I know where a lot of people are concerned, and rightfully so, is conditions of our roads. And right now we do have a grant out with the state of Michigan for several $1,000,000. And we're waiting to hear back on that. That is going to replace, if we get it, and of course there'll be some matching funds to that, the majority of the water lines in our town, bringing them up to current standard.
Mhm.
And along with that, once those water lines are fixed, then the roads can get repaired as well. So
Nice.
it's kind of like a twofold. So as
Finally,
right now,
somebody has come in and decided to do something with those roads where a small car doesn't disappear in one of them.
exactly. So I
Fantastic.
know it doesn't
That
look
was-
like right now we're working on that, but the commission and with our city administration, when this opportunity came to us, we went for it. So right now it's kind of like, and hopefully in the next couple of months, we'll see for sure what we can get and start that work. But we're getting that in progress. And again, that was the entire commission coming together and the city administration to apply for that to see what we get.
Jennifer, go back to the marina discussion for a second. Is there been any private investitures or interest coming in or activity about trying to develop that themselves? Or has it all been something that's been talked about with town money and grant money?
As far as that space that we have, the, where the.
Well, I mean,
Costco
just
property-
like that whole spot, the old marina, like Fred said, going from Dunn's all the way up to the bridge, all that covered stuff. Has any investment group, capital company, private company come in and take a look at that? Had any interest in that, to building out a marina in that space?
I have not heard anything. I'm not sure. I can't say that another commissioner hasn't, or it's not come to our city administration yet as far as people looking at it and what's available there. But I certainly hope so. I
It's
think
for
once,
sale. Is that space for sale? Is it on the market or is it held with someone currently?
I think all the space is currently held
It is.
that I'm aware of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but
they have individual boat condos from pretty much past Pete Patsalis' place to the marina that just got the gas. Who owns that? Who owns that?
the
Old
Rose
Knights
Marine
Marina?
now.
Rosemary.
Rosemary, yeah, so, I mean, and that's also a distance from downtown, but Marine City did acquire, it would be the Cottrell's dock, and that would be just north of that first bridge. I think they have, how many docks? It's probably 8-10 docks there.
8 to 10, wasn't it?
Yeah, 8 to 10 docks there that are just
Yeah.
at the end of the road, which is nice, right by the Catholic Church. That's a great place for transients to come in and have dinner. They didn't have that before, so step in the right direction, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Yeah,
talking
that's the
about,
public marina.
Not to
Absolutely.
mention not to mention, you know, Jennifer, you mentioned about you want to develop down there. The first thing that you did that was awesome is you were able to raise that monstrosity of a house that was right on that property and create an open space where you could create a park there and have other amenities there as well.
Yeah, that's a good spot. And of course, everything has to go through, further planning through the commission.
Zoning.
And everything that I say is just me and me alone here today. I'm not speaking on behalf of the commission or the city in any way.
Sure.
But that spot being that it already has the plumbing from the house that was there, like the water
Yes.
lines and plumb lines. If we wanted to do, I know they talked about maybe even temporarily some kind of like a temporary bathroom situation, but if we want to build a building, like a bathroom building there with having already those pre-established water lines, the electrical posts and everything there, that kind of gets us a step ahead
Right.
into doing those things. So,
Infrastructure's there, you just have to tap into it.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome. I got a question.
if I was
Oh,
king
Brock,
for
Go
the,
ahead, Brock. Go ahead, Brock.
Right. all right, so if I was king for the day and money was an object, all right, this is just pure, just on a wish list. I would excavate the property that's right next to the Riviera, right across from Gord's Bar. You probably can get 30 boats in there, and that's where I would put a marina. If money wasn't an object, but we know money is. I mean, like the optimum for a marina would be right downtown where everybody can see the boats. Like you go down to Key West, you walk by the boats, it's half of the mystique, the whole 9 yards. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but I mean that would be on a wish list. If I won the $1 billion in the mega, I could donate that.
Brock would like to turn Marine City into the next Key West. He's got a proposal out to rename Water Street Duval. It's a whole
Yes.
process.
Yeah, we talk about Key West, talking about Putin Bay.
Yeah.
I know.
So here's my
Yeah.
question, Jennifer. Now, mind you, this would be after your term is done, right? If I move back to Marine City and I was going to run for mayor, I got a couple questions to see what comes with the package, right? Okay, so here's the first one. Can I drink in any bar in town for free? Does that happen? Do you get that privilege?
No, and quite frankly, I don't ask for it, and if I know it, I don't usually accept it. But that's up to you, however you want to do that.
That's a no. So I hear a no. Okay. Second one. Would I be able to use the police force at my disposal? Like if someone pissed me off in town, could I have them go arrested and thrown in jail? Do I
Now
get
without
that?
violating the charter, you cannot.
Let's say that again.
As a
You're such an-
non-violating
what a-
charter. you
No,
So
cannot
that's
do
a
that.
hard maybe. Okay, that's a hard
It's
maybe. I got
backwards.
it. All right, so-
No,
What an idiot.
no,
That's why we're called the idiot circle, Jennifer. So that, we're letting idiot number 3 talk right now. Go ahead. Finish up, Rob.
Oh, okay. So if I ran like a beauty contest, could I be the only judge in town? Would that, what would that look like?
Sure, why not?
Oh, okay, so I got one no,
Oh my
one
God.
maybe, and a yes. All right.
You know, we
that's-
always need ideas for new events and new things in town, so definitely.
And does, like most mayors of a city, they get like some kind of mansion or something? I mean, does Green City
You're
provide
You're
you
such an
with, like,
asshole.
mansion right on the water or waterfront? something?
Marine City's Manugian, if you will.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's a no.
Yep.
I'm gonna take that.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
But
just
it's funny
wanted-
you say
I
that.
just wanted to feel that out, Jennifer.
Well,
I wanted to see if I wanted to be mayor.
Jennifer's maiden name is not Kilpatrick.
So,
Hey,
Thank God.
Rob, I got an
Thank
idea.
Christ.
Rob, if you become the mayor of Marine City, you
We're all
can have
moving.
one of those slips for free. I'll put a freaking boat there, a big old cruiser, and you can name it Offshore Driller.
Listen,
God.
if I become the mayor, Brock, we're turning that motherfucker inside out like Key West. I'm telling you, it'll be like off the chain.
That's
Yeah,
just-
and then you get
You
into the
gotta lay the
political side of
foundation,
it,
you
and you
just gotta put the
completely
roof on top.
change.
Now, boys, boys,
yes,
you gotta remember, if you're gonna set up something like do a old, cruise of the Index Circle, you got the mayor on here, maybe she could suggest how we could do that.
Oh.
Oh, good idea.
So,
Got the-
Jennifer,
the
so
power.
That guy's
it-
smart.
so Jennifer, the guys and I have talked about having a
Well, don't
idiot
forget
circle.
Tim. Tim talked
Yeah,
about.
oh, and Tim, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Tim.
the-
But this was discussed before Tim came on the show, but Tim chimed in and he came up with some good ideas too. Sorry, Tim. But to do a kind of a fundraiser where people come in and they cruise the Idiot Circle, former Marine City people, new, and we have bands playing all around town and everything like that. And that at the end of the cruise, we all end up down in Elginak on Harson's Island, and the Meldrum brothers are going
thought
to
it was
play
Putty
a
Gut.
free. Huh?
I thought it was Putty Gut.
No, we can't do Putty Gut.
I thought
There's
it
no
was.
He's
power
trying to
out
park,
there.
he's trying to park.
I think you end up at top of Gourds and you can just see the whole idiot circle from there.
And when he says fundraiser, he means fun. FUIN raiser.
And then
So
wait.
maybe it'd be a fundraiser for, for a local charity, or it could be for the athletic departments, or like they did for Battle of the Bands or something like that. But to do something like that, we would have to propose that to you at a city council meeting, correct?
Yep, you'd have to get the special permit and the event permit and complete everything that's needed on that. Yep, and that would come before the
How
commission.
receptive would they be to the reunited
tough subject.
idiot circle?
It-
How would
but if-
they-
if
how
it's
would
re-
that
but if-
look like?
but if
They
it's
never liked
restricted-
the term idiot circle before, so I
Okay.
don't know.
So here's my question. If we regulate it to maybe only 3 hours of doing it,
Oh, no, you can't do that.
3 to 5 hours, and then it's all in peace, no stupid. But I mean but I just just kind of just doing something like that, and then we're gonna do a live show from the roof of Gourds, but we were just trying to think of I don't know if people would be receptive of that or not, but
Let's look
I
at
would-
her face. Oh, yeah, she just.
yeah,
wants
I
to
can
shut
tell
us
that she's
down
like
right
going,
here.
oh my God, get me
She
off,
just wants
get
to
me off
shut
this.
this
Look, she
down
just
right
muted herself. She just muted.
My son just came down the stairs, no idea. I started saying some stuff, so I just already got muted it.
All right.
She's like,
So
"What's
let
wrong
me
with
ask
these guys?"
So Jennifer, with that question being posed, who is on the city council that we would have to butter up a little bit,
Schmooze.
smooth a little bit,
Schmooze.
that just
Everyone.
so who is your city council, and who is your right-hand person.
So, I don't think you have to schmooze anybody. I think everybody on our council, on our commission is very receptive to good ideas, good events, things that just would bring in, draw in fun and fundraising or events. My commission that I sit with is currently, and I'm just kind of going by seating order.
Sure.
Bill Clausen, Jake Bryson, Mike Hillfrank, Brian Ross, and then Lisa Hendrick and her sister Rita Rohrig. And I say her sister is because her mom Rita had been years ago on the commission as well.
Right.
So it's her sister Rita. Yep.
Right.
And then my Lisa is my mayor pro tem.
Okay, wow, out of all those people, the only person I know is Mike Hillfrank, and it's not the Mike Hillfrank we know, it's his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well-
that's crazy.
Okay, think of this. Think of this scenario. One, you say, okay, bring back the idiot circle. How do you get people back from the idiot circle back cruising? Well, could you combine a car
show?
show with it? Bring your car, park your car along the old idiot circle, take a cruise. Like the old days, you could combo that and do some bands and people would
Well,
park.
then you could combine it with the
No,
battle of
Rob,
the bands
sometimes
later
that
on that
son of
night.
a bitch has good ideas. It's
Kinda
not
like,
often.
Hot Wheels Weekend Marysville, where you have
Like
your
all-
show and then they break and do the cruise, and then you come back from the bands and the music, kind of something similar to that.
Yeah.
maybe.
I
Yeah,
say to pay for the permits, you charge
Yeah.
someone.
I mean,
10 bucks.
Cruise,
with
if
our
you cruise,
listenership,
have food
Jennifer, we're
truck.
guaranteed to get you 10, 15 people for this.
You could do food trucks, you could do the whole deal downtown.
Yeah,
Whatever, or not even do that and just use local businesses but you could get a heck of a crowd. You could do whatever you wanted, you know?
and
Yeah.
if, of course,
Downtown.
if Holy Cross would be willing, I mean, that's where the food trucks could go.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'd want to do too many because you need to take away from the local businesses, you know, you want
Well,
to
not-
people.
or that's, or that's where the battle of the bands are.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah,
and then with the food trucks too, is if you kind of, what we had tried to do with last year and looking at this year, is kind of have food trucks there that aren't competing with what would be like the primary
Whatever,
things that the restaurants.
very,
serve.
right,
Yeah.
kind of like what the person comes out in front of Gord's and does, right?
Well, Jennifer, we
Yeah.
put something like this together, and I got a couple questions here for you. Could
Uh-oh.
we drink in any bar in Marine City for free?
Here we go.
Could I use
Dude,
the
yes,
police force at my discretion to arrest anybody I want?
And can he live in a mansion for the weekend?
Yeah, I can have lived in the mansion for a
My
week.
I love
Lord.
it. Rob's got all these,
Oh,
Rob's got all these
Hey,
questions.
Jennifer, just let you know that Rob does not speak for the other three or
Rob,
four.
you be in here anytime quick.
Unless, Jennifer, you said yes to any one of those questions, they would all be willing to jump in, I'm sure.
I love how Rob's got all these questions prepared and he looks at his notes and he says, first one, can I drink for free?
So here's a little
I like the-
segue into the drinking for free, but I mean,
Oh, no.
that's not for free. You narrowly passed a thing where people can actually carry containers of, stuff
To
from
go.
like the Two Rivers to go within a certain distance.
Plastic cups.
certain boundaries, yeah.
And I'm sure that
Social
was, and I'm sure that was not easy to pass, but again, another youthful, good thinking idea where, obviously you're not going to get a bunch of yahoos running around being idiots, but like us or like Rob, who thinks he's going to drink for free. But something like those ideas. I mean, I don't think, between Dave and you, I don't think any other mayors that Marine City's ever had would ever even try to even attempt that idea and be able to do it. And we have to give both you and Dave kudos on that. That you're able to say, hey, look, it's an opportunity to take a wine slushy and you're walking the dog and you're walking downtown and you're stopping at stores and stuff like that, you know, and you're not causing any problems. And I think with a lot of open, like a lot of open places, like, you know, Guards has got their little deck there. Anita's has got their deck, which they, to me, I think they don't utilize enough. And I think with Gord's putting that upstairs in there, was a great idea. I think it's opened up a lot of opportunities. And of course, with the fish company, you know, I know they expanded with having that upstairs, that upper level, having the view of the river and the things that you have, just opens up some great opportunities for downtown.
Yeah, going back to the social district as well, and again, I got to thank the members of the commission and the city administration, department heads and all that, for everybody working together on that idea. It actually came up because we were talking about the ordinance that was going to be sunsetting over for Nautical Park for the open intoxicants, and what would work better maybe on an enforcement level, you know, kind of, and then what spread it out through town a little bit. And a lot of it we modeled after Port Huron. There were several cities that had that we took into consideration, but I know my experience up in Port Huron didn't have a bad experience, didn't hear of really any enforcement issues with that. So it's worth giving it a shot. We submitted our paperwork to Lansing. We got approved at the city level. Now the businesses have to get approved as well. And in our agenda tomorrow night for the meeting, we're approving for several of the businesses to go forward with their licensing through the state for it. So
That'd be like a beta test for a certain amount of time, or you just put your own kind of, you know, we'll try it out for a year or two and see what happens.
yep, we're gonna try it out, see what happens. If we find out that it maybe doesn't work as well as we thought, maybe we could look at going back to the old ordinance, or maybe coming up with another idea as well.
You know what's so
So
cool? When you go to Eastern Market, you see people walking around with the what's the place that does the great Bloody Marys, and they have them in those pouches that people put around their neck and sip. Vivios.
Yeah, Vivios, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of, and then people see that, and then they're, oh, where did you get that? Vivios. You know, it just supports the local businesses when people are walking around other parts of the city to get them to certain areas. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is the boundaries of for that ordinance?
So we go down to Broadway over by Newport.
Mhm.
And then we wrap down into just past Gord's, kind of wrap around to through that corner of Water Street.
Yeah.
So Broadway, Water by Newport, then all the way down Water Street, down by you know, Bridge Street. And then they did subsection out a small part where where the volleyball is, by the lighthouse
Guy
there.
Center.
Oh, yeah.
There's a small part because there was some concern about with kids more hanging out, you know, for that area. But then basically all the other area would be, you'd be able to walk and have a cocktail, but it has to be in the specific containers labeled specifically for the social district.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
and there's certain
no
hours
glass, right? There's no glass.
No.
right? Yeah, plastic
Right.
containers that would label the social district and yeah.
So Jennifer, with that being said, as I mentioned before, I know St. Clair has the plaza, and they have, you know, and we have the nautical mile thing there that, you know, where the Battle of the Bands is. Has it been discussed or even brought up as a possibility of being able to do the same thing that they do, bringing local bands and playing there on Thursdays through Sunday at all?
No, not that I'm aware of, but one thing you realize with the plaza is that it is private property. And a lot of that money for those bands, that's all handled a lot through the St. Clair Chamber of Commerce and through the businesses in that plaza to do that. So that's not necessarily a city run function to have all those bands and do that. So that definitely could be something that if the businesses wanted to get together to do that, some kind of organization permit that, or if there was some place on private property that they could do that, they could try that as well. But you know, I'm
just spitballing because, you know, because there's one thing that like I've said that I would love to see our town is, because our area has so many wonderful bands and musicians. And I know
Absolutely.
that, and I know Gord's has people, Gars has the, behind them, they got the patio. Two Rivers doesn't do anything. The Fish Company has Kenny Rose,
Yep.
who is an outstanding pianist and a saxophone player. He was playing there the other day when we were there, and he was just fantastic. But places like Anita's, you know, and the Riviera has Kenny play in there once in a
Yep.
while. But just to be able to have, and I know that you guys have in that little park right across from where the new lofts are being built, between like where the ferry used to be and like where Anita's is right there.
Yeah,
And
the
what you guys-
Drake Park. Yep.
Yeah, Drake Park, sorry. And have, you know, like, you know, solo players coming in and playing. I mean, it's worth I mean, to me, it's nice to be able to see that there's some efforts and some opportunities for the music to be played in town and be able to draw some people to it.
Dave, how you doing?
Beautiful in the Drake Park with that amphitheater. That's the brick seating that they have going on in there that you could see from the water side.
Yes.
Yeah, that was really designed nicely for that type of music.
They have music there every Tuesday. Every
Yeah.
Tuesday night.
Yeah, they
So-
do that for
Music
the
does.
Maritime Days fundraisers. Yep.
Yeah, and we've gone pretty much every Tuesday. Julie and I will take our bikes, go down there, ride, and we'll
Yep.
bring a little cooler, sit down there and listen to some music and
Kind of nice.
what. Yeah, it's very nice.
And nobody hounds you when you bring your own beer in a cooler, right?
No. The other thing, Fred, you also missed as far as live music, the River Place. That has
Sorry?
live music plus the Newport.
Oh, I'm
bar
sorry, I
has,
forgot. Well, that place has taken forever to do anything, so I completely forgot. And I forgot about the Newport Pub having their music, so I apologize. Sorry, Newport
Yeah.
Pub. And was it Blue Cabana? What's the
Oh.
name of it?
No, it's
Cabana
Newport.
Blue?
It's called the River Place. That's
Oh,
the
River
place.
Play. Okay, I thought you were
Yeah.
shooting out
Yeah.
the music in the other spot.
So John
Yeah, River Place.
Sepienza owns that.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's
Son was a
actually
hell-
designed.
His
It's
son was a hell of a
designed.
football player.
Yeah, yes. It's designed for the way they built it with a stage at the very end for music. Have you ever been in there? They have a lot of bands in there. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, he did a lot of work for a long time on that. Yep.
Is that the place that's closed by the old Anita's?
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
still on, yeah.
All right, I
It
got
took like 4 years to build it out.
I got
Remember how long just remember how long it took Newport Pub to get up and running.
Yeah,
And then it took that little bit to get going. Ooh, hey, I like the ambiance you got going on there. Are you gonna start playing Prince? Baby,
Well, Purple Rain.
baby,
So-
baby.
I want to hear from Dave. Dave's been quiet for a while. What do you got,
Dave's
Dave?
been,
Well,
Dave's been
I
in the
was
penalty
gonna-
box and Dave's been
I was
in the
gonna
penalty
catch-
box and he felt shame.
I was gonna catch him up. So far, Brock wants to turn Marine City into Key West and Clinton Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to have disease week.
That's your.
Yeah.
The goal's high.
Okay.
The bar is high. Okay, Marty Morningweg.
Yeah. You know what he would like is shots on one end of town and penicillin shots on the other end.
That's
of town.
right.
He's looking for.
Yep.
Hey, will we ever as kids, we all grew up with it. Will we ever get our diving boards back in Marine City?
Oh, good question.
Ooh,
That's
Was
a
that
hard
not
one.
awesome? Was that not awesome when we were younger? My God,
More of a liability, I think.
It's a liability now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Something like
You
a
talk about the
politician.
days of you and I dominating down there at the volleyball.
Volleyball catch and playing ladder tag, the best.
So
Martin
I do
Lane.
have to
Fun.
update Dave that I did dime out when we started talking about the ferry crossing that you were mayor when.
Yeah, you fucked it up, Dave, is what we
Yeah,
heard.
Dave.
That's the that's the
Hey.
summary.
You,
I've done the
George
Atomic
Bush,
Road,
and
hey.
Governor Schneider. Way to go.
We
got
gotta
new
blame
names
that
called
one
Bill
on
Clinton.
But it's like Republicans and
I'm blaming
Democrats, Dave.
Trudeau.
Half the people, like, we didn't want those Canadians here anyway, and the other people wanted them here. So you're good. You're 50-50. You're running 50-50.
Yeah.
I
My
blame
brother,
Trudeau.
Trump wins.
it makes my Christmas morning that much longer with my brother and sister-in-law. They gotta come from Canada, then I gotta go all the way around the bridge.
Well, Brock will take you over. Man, let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
The
Well,
cost
No.
of it, that's all good.
That
So,
is easy.
Jennifer, thanks for like all the information, with the mayor and what you've done with Marine City. Let's talk to Dave a little bit here now that you're back in from the penalty
Actually-
box and
Penalty
Just
box.
if I want to say a couple more things about Marine City real quick.
Yeah,
Okay.
please do.
we'll allow you.
Again, I
'cause-
want to do my disclosure. Everything I've said is me and me alone, not representative of the commission or city officials, but I will say this. I think we've got a good commission that works together, very proactive thinking. I think that we can see beyond if something isn't in one of our wheelhouses, we're able to take a look objectively and see the benefits it has. If you guys haven't had a chance to, we got a new city manager, Scott Atkins. He's a great guy, does a great job. All of our department heads, a new DPW superintendent is Jeff Schmidt. So, and of course, all our other department heads, and city employees do a great job. You guys ever need anything, any questions, feel free to contact them. Really, really do a good job.
Jennifer,
I'm glad that
give
you
us
just,
too
I'm
much
glad that you
credit.
just, yeah, I'm
Nobody
glad that
listens
you
to
brought
the
it up.
show. Nobody listens to the show for
Yep.
first of all, so you didn't have to read the disclaimer, but I do
That,
wanna
obviously,
point out
that is not true, Jennifer, so.
we do
just wanna
have
make
the
sure-
hottest mayor in the thumb, right? Can we all agree? We got the hottest mayor in the thumb.
Well, you got her and Pauline Rep.
Oh,
The rest,
from
the
Port
rest,
Huron.
and the rest can go spit.
But you know what? I think I'm their biggest fan, so they keep inviting me on the show just to make me feel good about myself.
Right. So
You
Jennifer,
wanna
the one
just
thing,
keep one fan,
Jennifer,
and then we have to
you just,
invite
you,
him.
you just brought something up that just, one quick question. And I know this is kind of a hot topic or kind of like, are they ever going to do anything with Old City Hall?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's good.
So,
Because I know they got that beautiful ballroom upstairs, which I think would be awesome for bands and music. But
yeah, we,
I,
Oh, no, no.
Balls.
I'll let you talk.
Big balls of
so-
fire.
previously they had voted to make that a multi-use facility.
Mhm.
And what we've done, and that was on the previous commission had decided to do that. So what we're doing now is we're trying to expand that a little bit. We do have a grant out with the state of Michigan, where we could get possibly up to $2 million.
Ooh.
To help start the renovations on that building. So we should be hearing back from that, I would think within the next month or so. If we get that, it has matching to it and we would have to work on that funding. But it would give us one heck of a start to get working in that building and get it going.
There's where the idiot circle fundraiser goes.
Well, here you go,
There you go.
That money goes right
Jennifer
to
and Dave, I know you know this, the other idiots may not. I mean, the history of that building goes back a long time when there was a
Long time.
trolley in front of that building that used to take people from Marine City to Detroit, because Marine City once was a very industrious town in the Midwest, like top 10
Shipbuilders.
industrial towns in
Shipbuilding.
ship making. So that building used to have one of the only orchestra bands that used to play there in the state of Michigan, one of the only opera houses that was in the state of Michigan at one time. I mean, there would be a case to make that get grant money to save it as a historical land site and make it something, right?
Yeah, so and with that use of the building, when they did the grant application, as well as some other key points that Marine City hit in general, I think we've got a good chance of scoring pretty high on getting that money. Yeah,
Mhm.
to be able to do that stuff.
I'd love to see that building saved and done, something nice done.
It is a beautiful building because there's a building in Sandusky that is very that kind of resembles that and it's just a beautiful thing where what are you laughing at, you
What are you
dumbass?
laughing at?
Nothing.
Hey, Dave, punch him for me. Okay. But like I said, I think if they were able to do something, that'd be fantastic. But Dave, now that you're back on the show and you're out of the penalty box and you don't feel shame,
I don't feel any shame. I'm just hoping you guys were done before I got back.
Yeah. So
Hate to have another car wreck or a house fire just to get out of this.
right. Well, hey, here's what I want to ask you is why don't you give us the hours of Van and Bosch Farms and tell us and just kind of give us an idea of well, let me, and the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I saw the Facebook post with your broccoli. Holy Christ.
What?
Those things are like this, and the
I wanna
price
know the
is like,
secret. What's
and-
the
and the-
secret?
the price almost, I mean, I almost keeled over. I'm like, shit. And the hydrangeas that you have and everything. I'm like, oh my God.
Fred,
I
when's the
mean-
last time you had broccoli?
Last night.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Well, it's cheap
Yeah.
right now, so he's gonna eat
I give him,
more.
you know, every year I see Dave at his greenhouse, I give him the same advice every year. I said, if he sold beer, this place would be packed.
Oh, Dave, there's a good right there. That's a-
Nobody would go home.
I wouldn't leave.
Nobody would go home. So Dave, now that you're on, it's time. The 18th and 19th of August is the Battle of the Bands.
Correct. Yes,
And
it is. We got change
So-
up this year.
well, there is a change up.
Yep, we jostled the schedule around. We needed to try and get the Gobies a win. So we made them a home team this year on Saturday night. So-
Ooh.
Against,
What I missed that. What was that again?
The Gobies are gonna play on Saturday night against the Meldrum brothers. So we're going
Really?
to, they're gonna be the home squad tonight on
Nice.
Saturday night. So you can root for your Gobies this year.
Well, I am not, as much as I got the Gobi shirt on, the only reason why I have the Gobi shirt on is because my Meldrum brothers shirt is in the wash and Paul and Oates don't have one yet. So Paul and Oates against Los Gringos, is that what it's gonna be?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Ooh. Ooh.
So, hey, Rob has a man crush on Eddie Stevens. He's hey, Eddie and I just went to a concert together with Kevin Mon and Paul Schunk and Kevin Ottenbacher. And dude, he's such a good dude. So here's my question to you with Numbnuts from St. Clair not going to be there. Who's gonna play the villain?
We'll see. We're gonna keep that up. We've got a few applicants in right now, and we're gonna see who gonna work out best for us.
no one's gonna have.
I like in the keeping the hush hush, but you know, you always got me in your back pocket if you need a little extra help.
Shameless
I
plug.
don't
shameless
Jim
plug.
wants that.
Well, and you know, the nice thing is it is a great event. It's
No
been
way.
every single year it's gotten better. I know last year we had a little bit of rain,
But
a little bit of rain, but you know, the nice thing is what a great event, bringing, you know, the people from Elginak, St. Clair, Marine City, and bringing those and having that park there and people enjoying probably some of the best, to me, any of those bands, I would put them against any band around the state of Michigan, any one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And when you,
That is absolutely the truth. I've had people, doing this job, I've met a lot of people from out of the area that have come in and they've had the opportunity to listen to our musicians in the area. And they think we're so spoiled with the quality of band we can put night in and night out in all different areas of this county. It's real easy to entertain guests from out of town.
it's funny you say that because, you know, you bring in the Meldrum brothers, you bring in Los Gringos, you bring in the Gobies, and you bring in Paul and Oates, and there's still Big Papa and the Machine. There's still Alter Ego. There's all these, you know, there's all these other bands that are out there that, you know, that would probably love to get, you know, to get involved in that. But you know what, I like the people that we have there. It doesn't need to get, it doesn't need to be any different. That park will be packed both nights. I think Gord's and Riviera and Anita's will benefit from, from that going on as well. And just to let you know, Dave and Jennifer, we have a representative from each band coming on the show next week on the 8th.
Oh, very cool.
To jabber with each other. And the cool thing is they always have some cool ideas of things that they could do to upstage each other. But it's such a good cause. And 2 years ago, Rob came to the first, one of the first Battle of the Bands, and Jeff was really, laying into Marine City, and he and Mike Ward took it the wrong way. But what they didn't realize is the monies that it brought in from people voting against what Jeff was saying, playing the WWE villain, really panned out. And then when panned out, and then when Rob met Jeff on the show and talked to him, he's like, he had a completely different perspective of what Jeff is. And Jeff and I, and Tim and I, and I've known Jeff since like 8th grade, and he's he's just one of those dudes where he does everything he can for his community and the county, just like
all of
both
us
of you two
on this panel here today, everybody talking, we have one thing in common, right? We were all reared in a small town. We all have the same values, a Midwest small town. And when we had Jeff on the show, it just exemplified the type of person he was. He promotes grassroots small town. And it's really amazing what he's been able to do. And then what all of you have been able to do that are involved in these small town community. What are you doing, Tim? You playing with yourself?
No.
Well,
Just fiddling my.
if that was the case, never mind. We can't go. I'm not gonna go.
But it's true. I mean, we're all about small town, right? Everything is, we're not big city. We're not metropolis. It's all about small town community.
Don't want to be.
Nope. That's the one thing that's one of the things that's great about this area is we want things to still be a secret, but that there's a point where it might not end up being that way. But when it comes to musicians, I will put Kevin Ottenbacher and Bob Kerrigan against any guitar player in this area or in the state of Michigan. I will put any one of these bands. I'll put Paul Shunk up against anybody. I'll put Chris Meldrum and the band, his band, against anybody. And the thing is that we're spoiled because we get to listen to them anytime that they're playing and not have to pay a cover charge and go and listen to it. I know Brock and I are, and Rob are huge. Well, Brock and I are probably bigger music fans than Rob and then Tim, but they love to be entertained. All of us love to be entertained, and all of those bands do entertain. So Dave, with that being said, with the Battle of Bands coming up, is there anything that that is going to excite you that might be something new about the event, or obviously you mentioned who's going to be battling who. I want you to clarify that one more time, and then just kind of give an idea what we should expect on the 18th and 19th.
Well, on the 18th, we've got the Los Gringos, who are going to represent Marine City. And then we have Paul Shunk, who is a Marine City boy. But
yeah, what's up with that?
Paul double booked this weekend, so he needed Saturday night off. So he's playing Friday night, and the Gobies had an opening so they could switch. And due to the fact that some of the guys play in both bands,
right,
we kind of have to keep that.
Oh, we just hit mute. Somebody hit mute accidentally.
Oh, that was me. I noticed that whenever Dave talked, my picture would come up.
Well, that's better than mine.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, Dave, good answer. Again,
Wait.
way to stay in the good graces of the church, my brother.
Let's bring Jennifer,
That's worth
bring
the
in your
points right
daughter.
there.
Let's meet your daughter.
No,
Bring her on.
go ahead. Keep talking, Dave.
Up,
So,
there we
so
go.
so Los Gringos is representing Marine City instead of Paul and Oates, and Paul and Oates is repping who? St. Clair? Oh
Yeah,
my God, that's blasphemous.
Oh,
I know, but it's gonna work out. Trust me. We'll have some fun with it. And Paul
Logistics.
can
you
play
see
a bad
Paul
guy.
cry when he plays, you'll hear him see that.
Yeah, Paul
And-
can be a bad guy for a change.
Okay, and then Saturday night you have who?
The Gobies against representing Marine City, and of course Meldrum Brothers taking care of the Swamp.
Nice.
Yep.
You know what? I guarantee you the Meldrum brothers would never represent anything but their beloved swamp. I just feel that's who they are.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
They're down
Must-
home, right?
They are muskrats through and through.
Yeah, they are. I
The
love those
Algonac
guys.
Lions have already got donations. They're already collecting money, and they're trying to stack the pot already. So I give the boys down there credit. They
Ain't
really
gonna
represent.
happen. They can stack it all they want. Marine City's gonna come. They're gonna come a stomping.
Jennifer,
You know
bring in the daughter. We got to see the daughter. Come on. Bring her on. Introduce her to the idiot circle.
Tell her we're sorry.
Yeah,
Tell him to
yeah.
run.
Ron.
Is she afraid to come on? She doesn't want to come on?
Oh, no, I'm here. I keep seeing my picture come up on Dave's phone as he's talking, and so I don't wanna.
So what's
Keep
your
holding the
daughter's name?
camera
What's your name?
Oh, my God, that's
Okay,
awesome.
This took a bad turn. Took a real bad turn.
See, I'm good with it.
So Dave, let me ask you this. You know, with that being said, with you know the band's changing up a little bit, is there anything gonna happen that's new, or is there you know like is there any food trucks, or is it
Oh yeah,
um,
absolutely. We couldn't get the food trucks. We had that gourmet grilled cheese truck last year, which was phenomenal. And they
Mhm.
actually have a brick and mortar store now, so they're out. So we've got a couple barbecue joints coming in. Coney Island's coming in. We've got is it a snow cone?
Yeah, Kona Ice.
Kona
will be
Ice
there
is gonna
both
be
nights.
there. And a few cocktails. Maybe just a few.
Nice.
now
Right.
at that event you can obviously you can bring your own booze, right?
Well,
Bring a cooler.
you need to buy from a
Yeah.
local vendor and have it in an actual official cup.
Yeah, because I don't
So-
think the social district won't be in by then, so it'll be the same
That's
rules.
exactly what I'm gonna be doing.
Exactly.
So you're saying that like the past 2 or 3 years where you could bring your own cooler and sit right there and watch.
Well,
You
you
can't
gotta
do that
sit
this
on something. You can
Huh?
still
Nobody
bring
did
a
that.
cooler. You
Nobody
gotta
did
sit
that,
on
right?
something, don't you?
year. Okay.
Wink, wink
like-
on this one. We're gonna hold.
Yeah,
the party
I
line.
got you. I got you. I
With that
got you.
being said,
With that being said,
Everybody in attendance should be supporting a local business. It all goes to good fare. though. I
Well,
mean,
they're also the ones help us put this together. The local business has helped me raise so far over $16,000.
wow.
Oh, nice.
Holy,
Fantastic.
they need to be rewarded.
Yes.
And I've already
Yeah,
spent 12,
absolutely.
so I'd like to give a little bit back to the Lions Club when I'm done. So, but
nice.
And-
So is Gord, like Gord's gonna like have like you know like they're gonna have their open window. Are they gonna be like serving like plastic cups of
Yep,
of drinks or
absolutely.
something? Okay, good.
Yep.
Good.
They're gonna have
Riviera,
some drinks.
is Riviera involved at all?
absolutely, we've talked to the new owners, and they've stepped up. They're one of our sponsors again, just like always.
Yeah.
And we even talked to I talked to Mary Beth the other day, Pat Sella. She'll be down there helping out. So it'll be good to see them all.
yes.
How about Dave and Julie Swantek? Are they have they been willing to help out at all with Two Rivers?
Yeah,
That's it. Jen's the Two River girl. I'm she may have a couple painting or wine painting classes there. So that's her
Yeah.
that's one of her clients.
the few times in and around that I had been getting out and getting some stuff done were days that they were open. So I still hope to get in there and talk to them. Because we like,
Yeah.
one of the things that we like to do when as long as we could, was if we go into someone, talk about sponsorship or helping with our event, we wanted
Yeah.
to do that in person.
Oh, sure.
And so it was a lot of going there, you know, talking to the owners and management. Yeah.
Sampling the product,
Yeah.
sampling the product.
Well,
while you
Man.
Oh,
guys-
yeah, well, let me just tell you that Dave and
Get
Julie
the job
are,
done.
Dave and Julie are great people.
Yeah.
Rob loves that place when he comes in for my daughter's wedding in September. There is no question we're going to be going there. When Dave came on the show, obviously they were a little bit reluctant on doing the show, but they did. And that weekend, after they were on the show, they had over 40 people from as far as Utica and Grosse Pointe that actually watched the show, actually came in because they heard about their winery on the show, and they couldn't believe how many people. We couldn't believe it either. So I thought that was kind of cool that there's
That may
people
not
out
be
there.
true. We can't substantiate that, but we like to think that anyway. I mean,
No, that- But that's, that's from Dave and Julie. So I mean, I'm making stuff up, but the nice thing is events like the, Battle of the Bands and the things that you guys started, Dave, as you being mayor and Jennifer replacing and taking over, breath of fresh air. The guys on the show, Rob, Mike, Brock, Tim, and myself, we will always be very supportive if there's
I
anything.
like to be referred to as the czar.
Well,
Sorry, he's the czar.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna call you the fuck boy in a minute.
By the way, I didn't say I was the czar. I said I was bizarre.
See, I was right though. I told
You
you.
were.
So, but the thing is any one of us, obviously, Jennifer, you know me, and Dave, you know me a while. There's no question that I would do anything to support and help Marine City out. I know Tim would, Rob from a distance. I know Brock would. Any of us, and of course Mike would, because his wife's got a business in town and they
Yeah.
live right in town. And Mike is Marine City through and through. And even though that, like Rob lives in Florida, Brock lives in East China, and I won't mention where I live. I live where them are.
No.
I believe that's Marysville.
Okay, I can't even. Well, I didn't hear you,
Going
Dave.
up his
You're
ass.
Dave, you're
I had to throw it out there.
Dave, you're breaking up, Dave. I can't
No,
hear
you're
you.
in the Golden City. We know it.
Viking.
Oh yeah,
The Viking.
the city of contentment.
Dave, let me tell you a little bit about the czar situation. I wanted to be referred to as the czar until an unnamed time when I'd like to be referred to only as a symbol. But we don't know when that time is going to be. So that's where we're at right now.
You know what? You should be an eggplant.
All right, Fred, I got one thing for you before we go.
Okay.
And you're gonna have Eddie on the show, correct?
Yeah.
Eddie is going to be on the show, of course.
I got a story for you.
Oh, do tell. Wait, Dave. I'm going to write this down. I'm gonna write
Oh, yeah,
this
you'll
down.
need to.
Wait. I want to write it down.
Give it to him, Brock.
Now,
I just
Eddie-
gotta wait a couple of. I gotta get focused.
Spit it out.
all right. Eddie's a big hunter and he's hunted for years, never had much luck. He's never gotten it, he sits in some pretty bad spots. So I take him up to Deer Acres where we hunt up in a secluded spot in the Thumb. And I do really well. Like there's stuff hanging all over the walls, as you can tell.
I can see that.
But so Eddie's helped us out on a lot of these Battle of the Bands. He's just a great guy to be around. So I go, Eddie, I'm gonna put you in front of a big deer. No way. I said, yes, sir. I'm putting you in front, and you're gonna be guided. So I put my son, had to spend the whole day with Eddie, which he's learned probably more than he should at 16. But so they're up in a blind. I go, Dan, let Eddie shoot a deer at noon. Just take a doe, and that way he's good for he's got some meat, and then hunt hard rest of the day. And he goes, what do you mean shoot one at noon? Well, we won't screw the rest of the day up. You don't shoot one in the morning? No, shoot one at noon. That's what I'm telling you to do. So Eddie starts trying to stick a gun out the window first thing in the morning. He's got little bucks out there, and Danny keeps covering the scoop up on him because he ain't shooting a little buck because Dad will kick my ass. And so they shoot a doe at noon, and I walk out and say, hey, can I have one of my guns? Because they had all the guns in the damn blind with them. So I go and get a gun because I want
Dave,
to.
I just want to point out, you got to edit the story down. Look at your wife, she's texting.
So she's heard this so many times now. So
He's texting the truth.
Dan runs me a gun out to the trail, and I go, hey, your client's sticking a gun out the window. Oh shit. And he goes running back to the blind to get up there. Don't shoot that deer, my dad will kill me. That was a little one. So at the end of the night, the big one came out. Eddie didn't get a big one. Shot
What
right
did
over
he
the top.
do? He missed the shot.
Shot right over the top. The biggest deer he's ever seen in his life.
So he missed. Well, let me tell you where I think Eddie does well at hunting. So 2 years ago at winter, what's the thing, Fred, we went to?
Winterfest or
Winterfest
winter
in
thing
St. Clair.
at St. Clair.
Mike Ward and I are there before Fred gets there, and we're watching Los Gringos play. And
It's cold that night. too.
it was cold as shit that night, but everybody was huddled in the tent and they had the propane tanks going. And there was this, I bet you she was 22, 23-year-old smoking hot chick. I think local from St. Clair. And she was flirting with Eddie. I mean, she was flirting with him to play songs for her. And he was, that's why I like it. He's such a showman. Well, her boyfriend, who was the same age, he was getting pissed. But I said, when we walked away from that show, I said, I don't know if he is a great hunter with deer, but I have a feeling he's a great hunter at other things, Dave.
Well, I think my son learned more in that, in a few of the nights he's gotten to spend with Eddie and then guiding him that whole day. The conversation had to be very interesting for a 16-year-old boy to sit with Eddie Stevens in that deer blind. They did I think about 14 hours in that blind that day, the whole time together. And I bet you he's gonna put that down as a memory for his whole lifetime.
Yep.
How many years?
Not
Your
only,
boy
not only,
walked out of
not,
that
not only was
blind
he
with the
six,
munchies. I'm going to tell you right now,
Yeah,
your boy
not
walked
only
out of
was
that
he-
blind with
not
the
only was he 16, he walked out with deer eyes like deer, looking in the headlights, and he was blushing for like at least 72 hours after he walked away from Eddie.
My
No
wish
doubt.
list, Dave, is to go out one night with Eddie Stevens. I told him when he was on the show, I said I would contact my attorney, would put him on retainer. We would get our passports in order. I don't know where in the fuck it's gonna take us. I don't care when we come home. And all I know is I come back, I just don't want a tattoo on my face. That's all I care about. That's it.
What about a
Problem
missing?
is the problem is Rob will end up meeting Eddie in a chapel in Niagara Falls, and they're going to get married accidentally.
He's transitioning.
Yeah.
We toured with them to Missouri one time.
Oh my God, you are!
Yeah.
I can't believe you went to that.
My liver had to send a text to my liver. You can get through this. Take care of me. It's just a weekend, boy. We can make it.
The real MVP was the liver there.
Oh Lord,
They are rock and roll enthusiasts.
yes.
Love it.
So boys, hey, I mean, hey, we gotta say thank you for Dave and Jennifer being on the show this week. Hey, we appreciate. Jennifer, I hope the questions weren't too hard. Dave, thanks for talking a little bit about the Battle of the Bands, which is going to be August 18th and 19th. Friday night will be the Los Gringos against Paul and Oates, and then Saturday will be the Gobies versus the Meldrum brothers. I strongly recommend any of you who are watching the show go down there and have a great time. It's a great fundraiser for the athletic departments for each one of the schools, and it's obviously you're going to listen to some of the best music that you're going to see anywhere in the state of Michigan, and we appreciate everything that you guys done for the city of Marine City and what you're going to do moving forward in the future. You two, I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure. Guys, hey, just a reminder, we are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We are a YouTube show. If you're on there, you can go right into notifications. And you can subscribe to the show. You can give a thumbs up or thumbs down. Hey, Gager, what's up, buddy?
Gager.
Us things fast.
Gage, it's the idiot circle. That's my 9-year-old son, Jennifer.
That's awesome.
He's been on the show before, but he said to
Yes.
me, he said, Dad, I don't want to be known as an idiot. That's what he said.
Nothing better. Great status.
Yeah, so hey, guys, check out our show. Like I said, thumbs up, thumbs down. Hey, if you got questions that you want on the show, throw them at us. If there's guests that you want, let us know. We appreciate everybody that comes on. Like I said, hey, thanks Brock for filling in for Mike. I hope everything went well tonight. Hopefully everything goes good.
I
But
had fun.
yes, I had fun. You
Yeah, I
guys
had
say
fun.
thanks for coming on, and everybody have a great night.
Okay, we'll
Thanks,
see you guys
guys.
later.
What do you think of that, Bob? Oh, he's got his thumbs up.